Did you know that some of the most popular cars on the road today are actually some of the worst vehicles you could ever buy? They might look stylish, offer flashy tech, or come with tempting price tags. But under the hood, they're loaded with problems that can drain your wallet, destroy your patience, and leave you stranded when you least expect it. In this video, we're exposing the truth behind the vehicles that only uninformed buyers end up driving. Buckle up, because we're diving into the worst cars only stupid people buy, and trust me, some of these will shock you. 1. Jaguar F-Pace. At first glance, the Jaguar F-Pace looks like a dream come true. It's got aggressive styling, a plush interior, and that prestigious British badge. But give it a few thousand miles and you'll realize you didn't buy a Jaguar, you bought a warranty waiting to expire. Despite its $55,000 plus price tag, the Jaguar F-Pace is loaded with problems that make you question how it ever passed quality control. Owners regularly report transmission problems, including hard shifting, delayed engagement, and even total failure under 60,000 miles. And if you think that's the worst part, think again. The F-Pace is also plagued by electrical faults, from infotainment systems that freeze or reboot randomly, to warning lights that flicker on without reason. And to top it all off, this luxury SUV has a habit of leaking oil, especially from the timing cover or turbo oil lines. So why do people still buy them? The badge, the looks, and the test drive. But they forget that owning a Jaguar is like dating someone incredibly attractive who has no emotional stability whatsoever. 2. Nissan Frontier. The Nissan Frontier is like that classmate who peaked in high school and never evolved. While competitors like the Toyota Tacoma and Ford Ranger kept upgrading, the Frontier stayed stuck in the past for nearly 2 decades with barely any updates. First, let's talk about its outdated platform and crude ride quality. For years, it was built on a chassis so old it felt like driving a fossil. The suspension is stiff, the steering is vague, and on-road comfort? Practically non-existent. And even after its redesign, the problems didn't go away. Owners report transmission hesitation, rough shifts, and software bugs in the new 9-speed automatic. And also, the fuel economy is worse than larger trucks, and resale value is far lower than segment leaders like the Tacoma or Colorado. 3. Chrysler 200. At first glance, the Chrysler 200 seems like a sleek, affordable alternative to a Honda Accord or Toyota Camry. But underneath that shiny paint and modern design lies a mechanical mess. The biggest problem? Its 9-speed automatic transmission, which feels like it was programmed by a roulette wheel. Shifting is unpredictable, jerky, and often delayed, making driving a frustrating experience. But that's not all. The cramped engine bay makes repairs a nightmare. Electrical issues, stalling, poor resale value. It's all here. Mechanics dread working on it, and owners often dump it within a year. If you want a car that fights you every step of the way, the Chrysler 200 is waiting. 4. Nissan Juke. The Nissan Juke is one of those cars that tried way too hard to stand out, and ended up being remembered for all the wrong reasons. Sure, its frog-eyed headlights and cartoonish shape might have turned heads, but once you actually drive or own one, you realize why this car was quietly pulled from most markets. Despite a price that often exceeded $25,000 when new, the Juke is plagued with serious flaws, making it one of the worst subcompact crossovers you can buy. Let's start with the biggest issue, the CVT transmission. Nissan's infamous continuously variable transmission in the Juke is known to fail often before 80,000 miles. Add to that a tiny, uncomfortable cabin, poor visibility, and weird interior layouts, and you've got a vehicle that's bad on every front. Nissan tried to be bold, but instead, they built a ticking time bomb. If you like paying $5,000 for a transmission on a $6,000 car, this one's for you. 5. Jeep Wrangler. There's no denying the Jeep Wrangler's legendary status when it comes to off-roading. It's the go-to vehicle for mud, rocks, and rugged trails. But here's the truth Jeep doesn't want you to hear. As a daily driver, the Wrangler is one of the worst vehicles you can buy, especially for the money. Starting at over $35,000 and often pushing past $50,000 with options, you'd expect refinement. But what you get instead is a bouncy, noisy, fuel-guzzling brick that handles more like a shopping cart than a modern SUV. But the worst part is reliability. Wranglers, especially the newer JL models, are notorious for electrical issues, transmission failures, and steering defects. There have been multiple complaints and even recalls over the infamous death wobble. Its interior is also cramped, upright, and noisy. The rear seats are tight, the cargo space is subpar, and every time it rains, Wrangler owners pray they closed everything tightly, because leaks are all too common. In short, the Wrangler is a fantastic toy, but a terrible tool for anyone who actually needs a comfortable, reliable, and safe daily driver. 6. BMW 7 Series. The BMW 7 Series might look like the pinnacle of luxury and performance, but it's often a financial trap, especially when bought used. Older models, particularly from the early 2000s to mid-2010s, are notorious for being money pits due to complex electronics and unreliable components. The iDrive system is overly complicated and prone to glitches, especially in earlier versions. Air suspension failures are common, costing thousands to replace, and when combined with oil leaks, failing water pumps, and malfunctioning sensors, the repair bills pile up fast. Depreciation is also brutal. A $100,000 7 Series can lose over 80% of its value in a decade, yet still cost as much to maintain as a new luxury car. 7. Nissan Rogue. The Nissan Rogue might be one of the best-selling crossovers in America, but that doesn't mean it's a good car. Despite its family-friendly label and $30,000-plus price tag, the Rogue hides a long list of mechanical nightmares, cheap components, and long-term ownership headaches. Let's start with the most infamous problem, the CVT transmission. Nissan's Xtronic CVT is notorious for overheating, shuddering, lagging, and failing entirely, often before 80,000 miles. But the issues don't end there. Many owners report electrical gremlins, such as backup cameras that flicker or stop working, warning lights that pop up for no reason, and infotainment systems that glitch out at the worst moments. And even in newer models, interior quality is subpar. So why do so many people buy the Rogue? Because they don't do the research. It's pitched as a safe, practical, affordable SUV, but in reality, it's an overpriced ticking time bomb wrapped in bland design. That's all for this video. Buying a bad car isn't just about wasting money. It's about signing up for years of stress, breakdowns, and regrets. These cars might look appealing, but once you start driving, the truth hits harder than a repair bill. Avoid these traps and do your research. And if someone offers you a great deal on any of these, run!